You are listening to PowerScore's Featured Law Schools podcast series. Today's featured school is the University of Texas at Austin. Currently ranked number 15 by the U.S. News & World Report, UT, a shortened nickname for the school, has a full-time enrollment of 1,182 students and currently costs a little over $27,000 for in-state students and $43,000 for out-of-state students per year. For the class of 2009, there were 379 seats available for the 5,200 applicants they received. And because UT is a state school, the Texas legislature has limited the non-resident enrollment to 35% of the student body. Finally, when it came to admission for the fall of 2009, the median LSAT score was a 167, while the median GPA was a 3.71. Representing the University of Texas Law School in our podcast today, we have the Dean of the Law School, Larry Sager, and current student and editor-in-chief of the UT Law Review, Omar Ochoa. Dean Sager says this about what divides his school from other law schools.
One way to think about law schools is to divide them initially between sort of small boutique schools that do some things extremely well, and larger schools which, when they're on their game, are more like elite department stores that undertake to do a lot of stuff well. And if you have a large, energetic school, you get a buffet of opportunities that is hard to match. So to give you some examples among rather a large list, we've got 18 extraordinary clinics that have had something like 10 cases before the Supreme Court in the last handful of years and do remarkable stuff. We have a center in global energy, mental law, and international arbitration. We are about to launch a remarkable dual degree program in us and ETOM, which is the best law school in Mexico. And when that school's launched, we'll reproduce that program elsewhere in Latin America and in Western Europe. And we have really vibrant intellectual programs in law and history, law and economics, law and philosophy. It's that kind of buffet that's hard to find except in a small handful of really fine, really energetic, and dynamic large schools, and we're one of those.
And when it came to advice for potential applicants, Dean Sager had this to say.
For one thing, if it's possible to learn more about Austin and come and see Austin, it's an extraordinary city and a lot of fun. So seize on the excuse to be here and get some sense of what it would be like to have your legal education here. The other thing to say is that we have receptions in all over Texas, all over California, in Washington, D.C., in New York, and elsewhere. When the opportunity arises, come to one of our receptions and meet our extraordinary graduates and get a sense of the place. And finally, in terms of preparing yourself, my own view is that legal education is above all about acquiring a very special habit of mind, and anything you can do to, sort of put your mind in shape. Take really interesting courses from great teachers so that remarkable muscle called the mind can be put to use. That's the best possible thing to do.
And if considering the University of Texas Law School, Dean Sager says they offer an exciting legal education.
My own view is that UT offers as exciting a legal education as anywhere in the country. It does so in a fantastic city with a faculty that is best captured by the fact that the Princeton Review ranked us number one in classroom experience among, I think, 180 law schools. It's just an amazing experience, and you ought to be very open to availing yourself of it.
And when it comes to his students, Dean Sager has great things to say about Omar Ochoa.
There is this interesting feature of Omar. He's the first Hispanic to be elected an editor-in-chief of the Law Review. But we have, in fact, enrolled and graduated more Hispanic students than any elite law school in the United States. And it's an important source of our identity and something of which we are very proud. And Omar's a superb instance of that pride.
Omar Ochoa will be a third year in the fall and currently serves as the editor-in-chief of the Law Review. When it comes to his favorite aspect of UT Law, he can't just pick one thing.
There's a lot to it, actually. Not sure I can really point my finger onto one. I think the law school gets a lot of synergy from being a part of such a large university, a 50,000-person campus, University of Texas is. And I just think we get a lot of energy from undergrads and from all things going on across campus. In addition to that, we get a lot of energy being located in Austin. We're right in the heart of downtown, right in the middle of everything. So being a college town, being a young town, we get a lot of energy from that as well. But I think in general, the law school really is a family environment. I hear a lot of stories from other schools or from other places about, things being cutthroat or really competitive, and where our students are competitive for good grades. I feel like it's really not so bad. Everyone's being cordial with each other. The administration encourages social activities, and we definitely take advantage of all that.
As for student life at UT, Omar says they offer a lot of great opportunities.
So, like I said before, very inclusive. There are a lot of activities, a lot of events going on. Like I said, not only with the university at large, but within the city. There's a lot of student organizations as well, specifically for law school students. Everything from political organizations to cultural organizations, professional organizations. There's a little bit of everything depending on what your interests are. And then on top of that, being a larger law school, we have close to 400 people who come in of every incoming class. A wide range of students from all kinds of backgrounds. And so bringing us all together, I think, makes for a good experience all around student life-wise.
And when trying to sum up UT to the listeners, Omar can't contain his excitement.
Well, UT is just a fabulous place. It's a great learning environment, one of the top schools in the country, world-renowned professors in a variety of areas. But UT Law, like I said, is just a great place. It's a lot of fun to be here. Again, the university and the city add a lot to it. And I think just the relaxed and social environment atmosphere that you get being here at UT is really unique to our institution. So combine that with the great education that you get, and I don't see why there'd be any better law school than UT.
Finally, Dean Sager wants all potential students to know that if you have questions, his contact information isn't hard to find.
I want to say to anyone thinking about it, it's not hard to find me on the Internet, and if you send me a question or an inquiry of any kind, I'll see that I or someone around here gets you an answer that ought to be helpful.
Thank you for listening to PowerScore's podcast series. If you want more information on PowerScore's podcast or services, please visit PowerScore.com, or you can call 1-800-545-1750.